Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to our playthrough of Arkham Horror, the card game, where we are deep into the Dunwich Legacy campaign. We are on our second scenario, scenario 1A, which is extracurricular activity. Our intrepid investigators are Agnes Baker and Jenny Barnes, and they are searching for Professor Warren Rice, and they've run into a bit of trouble and things aren't looking too clever. Just before we crack on with episode 7, what we've got to do is visit Catweazle's cock-up corner, and I've done a doozy last episode. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but yes, I made a right balls up last episode. What I was doing is I was using arcane studies, but I wasn't playing it. It was like I was playing Mage Knight. You know, just playing it direct out of my hand. Of course, you've got to actually play the card. What actually makes it worse is Arcane Studies is virtually the same sort of card as Hard Knocks, whereby it's an asset, and here you can spend resources for a combat and an agility test. Well, Arcane Studies, virtually the same. Obviously, it's a different class of card, but as a free action, you're spending resources for willpower and intellect. So as you can see, virtually the same kind of card. I play this one correctly, but this one, I'm playing it from hand like a donut. So I do apologise for that. I just do not know what I was doing. As it is, it wouldn't have affected any of the tests that I used it on. So we'll just call that as like my idiocy and we'll leave it as that. But yes, I should have paid the cost and I should have played it. I didn't. So that was completely wrong. So as I say, I just do not know what I was doing there. Just craziness, man. So deep apologies for that. The other mistake that I made was we did do a test and we used perception. Agnes used perception and we succeeded at the test. Because we succeeded at the test, we get to draw a card. So I'll discard this again and we will draw the replacement card. Whoops. The replacement card we would have got is obviously the Heirloom of Hyperborea, and this would be the card that we got during the upkeep phase. So Unexpected Courage, so it's another skill card. That'll come in very useful. So there we go, we've got Unexpected Courage. Oh, so what a laugh that was. Okay. So now we can get on with episode 7. I think we're up to round 15. Not quite sure about that, I'll check, but I think it's round 15. And that means it's the laugh and the chuckle phase. And here we are at the laugh and chuckle phase. One thing I forgot to mention, did mean to mention it, Agnes has actually got 2 resources. I forgot to give her 1 resource during the upkeep phase, so I've given her that now, so she's up to the correct amount of resources. But yes, it's laughter, it's chuckle vision, it's the mythos phase. So our first player is going to be Jenny again, and she gets a whippoorwill. So these are 2 combat, they've got 1 health, they are 4 to evade, and they're a creature, they are aloof, and a hunter. Each investigator at a whippoorwill's location gets -1 willpower, -1 intellect, -1 combat, and -1 agility. It is vowed that the birds are psychopomps, lying in wait for the souls of the dying. H.P. Lovecraft, the Dunwich Horror, and they will do 1 sanity damage to you. Horrible things. Well, that is at the Arm Library, which is going to cause us more bother. So we'll just pop it on the edge there. There we go. So that's a bit of a blow. Let's sort that out. Get in there. Right. So we've got a whippoorwill at the Arm Library causing us problems, but at least it's aloof, so it's not engaged with us. We'll have to sort something out there. And it is now a mythos card for, sorry, an encounter card for Agnes, and she gets, arcane barrier, treachery, hex obstacle, revelation, attached to your location. So at least we managed At least we've managed to clean the science building up of clues. As an additional cost to move into or out of the attached location, test willpower 4. That's a tough test. If successful, discard Arcane Barrier. Otherwise, you must either cancel the effects of the move or discard the top 5 cards of your deck. Well, we could have done without that. That is going to make it very difficult to move. I'm not a big fan of discarding cards either in this scenario. There is a reason why a lot of these encounter cards make you do it. And it mainly means that things get very difficult if you do not have a stack of cards. Once you go under certain levels, then there's a lot of like nastiness that starts to kick in. So we've got an Arcane Barrier and we got a Whippoorwill as well. So we could have done without them. But there they are. Alright, so that is the end of the Mythos phase. Next up is the Investigation phase. And here we are at the Investigation phase, but first things first. Why don't I do what I should have done in the Mythos phase and put a Doom down? So we're on 3 Doom. We've got 4 rounds max left before that agenda kicks over. So what is Jenny going to do? Well, as you can imagine, because we're at the map, she is going to move and she's going to try and take on this Yithian observer. So she's going to move, that's fine. The Whippoorwill isn't engaged with us. It's aloof. So we're going to go across here. But that means the Yithian observer is going to engage with us. So what we've got here is we have a combat of 4, has a health of 4, and it's 3 to evade monster Yithian. And it's just going to, yeah, it's going to attack. It's going to become engaged. Sorry, it's not going to attack because we're going to attack it. So let's get down to our player area and see how that goes on. Here we are at Jenny's player area. She's used an action to move, so we've got 2 left. And we're going to attack with our twin 45s. So these, we're going to spend an ammo, and that means we can fight, and we're going to get +2 damage for this attack. +2 combat for this attack, and it will deal +1 damage. So we'll put that back down there. So boink. We'll spend that. That gives us +2 combat, which puts us up to 5. We've got hard knocks, and we're going to spend a resource. And we are going to get ourselves an extra combat. So that is going to give us 6 against 4. So we need a -2 or better. And we get a -3. I don't believe it. Never mind. Okay, that is bad. So, yes, we take some damage there. We take 1 health, and we take, what is it, 1 sanity, so that's going to go down to 6. Well, that isn't too good, is it? We're going to do exactly the same, and we need a -2 or better. Let's try and get some hits on it, and we get a -1, so we do get 1 attack in there, and that will put 2 damage onto the Yithian observer, but I was hoping we would kill that and get a victory point. Not only that, we've used an ammo that didn't hit home on Jenny's twin 45, so that's pretty bad. So those are her final 2 actions. And now I've got to have a think about Agnes. Oh, I wasn't going to try the Arcane Barrier, but I might have to, because we might have to try and get rid of this Yithian observer. I shall have a think. Okay, let's go across to Agnes. And here we are with Agnes. I've decided that Agnes is not going to move to help Jenny. Jenny can take a bit more damage. She'll have to lose one of her cards in her hand as well, but we'll have to put up with that, I think. What we're going to do with Agnes is, before she moves away, let's get some we could do with shrilling, to be honest. So we're going to have a bit of a route through our deck for shrilling. We're going to spend all 3 of our actions to draw cards. So first card that we draw is Look What I Found. Oh right, this is pretty good. 2, an event, 2 intellect icons. Look What I Found, Fortune, Fast. Play after you fail a skill test by 2 or less while investigating. Discover 2 clues in your location. That is great. So we need to get to a location where we can do an investigation test. So I think you've got to do that. I think you actually have to... yes, I don't think it counts if all the clues have already gone. So that is a good card. And next, for our second card that we're going to draw, one at a time, Lucky, another event, only costs 1. Fortune, Fast, play when you would fail a skill test, get +2 to your skill value for that test. That's another good card. And our final card is going to be Scrying. Oh, I want shriveling. 1, it's an asset. It's arcane and gives you an intellect icon. It's a spell. Uses 3 charges. And for an action, you can exhaust Scrying and spend 1 charge. Look at the top 3 cards of any investigator's deck or the encounter deck. Return them to the top of that deck in any order. So some useful cards there. And yeah, what we'll have to do is put some of those into play. I'm doing it now while we've only got 3 Doom on the agenda. We've got a tiny bit of time, I think, to do stuff like what we've just done, but we're going to have to get a move on. It's just unfortunate we didn't pick shriveling out. Okay, that is it for the investigation phase. Next up is the enemy phase. And here we are at the enemy phase. First things first, the good old whippoorwills are going to move across. And then the Yithian observer is going to attack. We are going to have to get rid of one of these cards in our hand. So, oh, I'll tell you how we'll do it. 1, 2, 3. I have given him a bit of a shuffle, so I'm not sure what's what. But yes, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, so it's the first one. The one I wouldn't like to lose is actually Beat Cop, and we don't. We lose Pickpocketing. Well, I wouldn't like to lose any of the cards, but I'm glad I've kept Beat Cop and Liquid Courage. So, there we go. And we also get hit again. So we're now on 5 sanity and 6 health. There we go. So that's a bit grim. Okay, that is it for the enemy phase. Next up is the upkeep phase. And here we are at the upkeep phase. I don't think, no, we've got no cards to refresh. So we'll give everybody their actions back. And surely our luck's got to change. Surely it's got to change. So we've got our actions back. We need a card for Jenny. Come on, a good card, please. Burglary. So this is 1 to play. It's an asset. You get an intellect icon with it. For an action, it's talent, illicit. For an action, exhaust burglary, investigate. If you succeed, instead of discovering clues, gain 3 resources. Well, we need the clues, unfortunately, but it's an intellect icon. We get 2 resources. There we go. And what else? No, that's it for her. So it's Agnes. She draws a card and she gets emergency cash. Gain 3 resources. So we'll pop that there. That will help us play some cards, I think, next turn. I think we're going to have to count on Jenny getting rid of the whippoorwill and the Yithian observer. We'll see. Okay, so, oh, resource, don't forget a resource like you did last time. So she's up to 3 resources, Agnes, and that is it for this round. I will be back shortly. I'll upload this round and then I shall come back and we'll have another bite at the cherry. And welcome back to round 16. Yes, things are looking really funky, aren't they? Not. So, we're on round 16. What I will remember is we put another doom on. So we're at 4. We'll just check against the agenda. The agenda's at 7, so we're currently fine. And we can get into pulling cards. I think Jenny's going to go first again. So let's see what she gets. Single card, yes it is. And she gets a treachery card. Visions of Futures Past. Hex. Revelation. Oh, test willpower 5. For each point you fail by, discard the top card of your deck. Are these visions of things to be or things as they might be? Or could these horrors have already happened? Ooh. Not the investigator to get this test. It would have been better for Agnes to get this test. Alright, her willpower is 3. Now, we could throw liquid courage at it, but I want to keep liquid courage. So we're just going to go 3 against 5. I think we need an elder sign to get this. And we get a -1. So that means we lose 3 cards, doesn't it? Yep, 5 against 2 it ends up. So we lose 3 cards. Put that there. Our first card that goes missing is Elusive. That's a good card. Our second card that gets discarded is Emergency Cash. We could have done with that as well. And our last card is Searching for It. Well, we got a bit of luck. Searching for Is It has been discarded. So not that bad as it turns out in the end. Searching for Is It would have probably gone in some horrendous faraway location and we'd have really struggled to finish it off. But yes, so that was a bit of luck. Right, so she has gone. Next we get the card for Agnes. Bloody hell, another locked door. Revelation, attached to, well, we're in the science buildings, that's alright. Attached to the location with the most, oh no, attached to the location with the most clues and without a locked door attached. So it doesn't go to the science building, it goes to the Orne Library. Ooh. They do not want us picking up these clues. But we do have, look what I found. So I've moved these around, put all our assets up there and their events and their skills down here. So we've got, look what I found. So if we were to miss by, what is it, 2 or less while investigating, then we could pick up 2 clues. So it might not be too bad. Oh, yes it is, because we can't even investigate with a locked door. We have to get rid of the locked door. Oh, God. Perhaps if we go to the student union, that might have a couple of clues. But we've only got 3. We need 6. Alright, anyway. Okay, so that is it for Agnes. And that is it for the Mythos phase. Next up is the investigation phase. And here we are at the investigation phase. We're going to use the twin 45s again. And we're going to spend one of our resources for hard knocks, which gives us 6 combat. And we need to get 4 or better, except it's 5 or better. Well, no, it's going to stay 4. We need to beat 4, but we only have 5 because of the whippoorwills. The whippoorwill's going to take a combat off us. So we need a -1 or better. Come on, we've got a load of skull tokens in here. Let's be having it. A -4, nowhere near. So twin 45s again, and this. Let's go again, and we get a -1 at last. So we did get the Yithian Observer. That goes into our victory pile because we put 2 on it. So yay, we've got 1 victory point. I'll put it over here. Won't be a second. So at least we're going to get 1 experience point. I think it's all we're going to get. Those were our first 2 actions, and for her final action, let's go up to the map. And here we are at the map, and there's our victory point. And yes, Jenny's going to move, and she's going to move to the Student Union. Leave the whippoorwills behind. Student Union, location Miskatonic. Even at this late hour you can hear a muffled chatter from inside the Student Union. Perhaps one of the students will know where Professor Rice is. Student Union, location. Now it's only got a single shroud, which is good, and it's got 2 clues. Forced, after Student Union is revealed, put the set-aside dormitories into play. So we'll do that. We'll pick the dormitories out. And that's this card. And put that over there. We'll have a quick look at dormitories, seeing as we've got just the front bit. Dormitories, another location, Miskatonic. The door leading to the dormitories is locked. You cannot move into the dormitories. The red brick form of the west dormitory could be seen through the trees. Graham McNeil in Ghouls of the Miskatonic. So I think we'll put that here. And let's wait a minute. We'll need one of those. Let's do it this way. Yes, it's a very long walk to the dormitories. So there we go. We'll do that. So very long walk to the dormitories from the Student Union. But there we are. So we have at least got the Student Union revealed. It needs 2 clues. So we'll put those there. Yeah, this has been a real struggle without a dedicated seeker. Having somebody like Daisy would have helped out here. But c'est la vie, and there we go. So we've got the Student Union. That is it for Jenny. Next up, that was her last action. So next up it is Agnes Baker. And here we are with Agnes, and Agnes is going to try and move, which means we're going to have to use this arcane barrier. Well, we're going to have to test against it. As an additional cost to move into or out of the attached location, test willpower 4. We've got a willpower of 5. Are we going to chuck anything at it? We could chuck arcane studies at it. I'm not keen. But we do have lucky, so we might be able to put lucky into play. So we need a -1 or better. Come on. Come on. -2. Now that means we missed by 1. So we're going to spend a resource. And yes, fast. Play when you would fail a skill test. Yeah? So we have failed a skill test. We get +2 to that skill test, which means we succeed. We have to pay 1 resource, which we're going to pay. Discard lucky. You're a lucky gal, Agnes. So she does get to move. And we get rid of the arcane barrier, I think. Yes, discard arcane barrier. Okay, good stuff. So we're now in the Miskatonic quad. And for her next action, her second action, she is actually going to engage the whippoorwills. So we'll go down to her player area and we'll do that. And here we are at her player area, so let's grab the whippoorwills. We have engaged them, and obviously we want to kill them. So they've got 2 combat. We have got 2 combat as well, but we do have the fire axe, which, if you have no resources in your pool, this attack deals 1 damage. That's okay, we've only got to do 1 damage. During an attack using Fire Axe, spend 1 resource, you get +2. So we're going to spend a resource to get +2 on this attack. So that will give us 4 combat. Are we going to chuck anything else at it? I think we'll chuck the leather coat at it. So that gives us 5. So we're going to commit that, put that there. So that is 5. And we're not going to do anything else, I don't think. Yes, that's going to be 5 combat versus 2 combat. So we need a -3 or better. And we get a -1. Woo! And that will put the requisite 1 damage on Whippoorwill, and we get rid of it. And that was her final action, that attack. Get rid of leather coat. Oh, so we got there in the end. We've actually got ourselves a victory point, thankfully. We've got rid of the Whippoorwill, and we have got rid of... I forgot to take -1 off, didn't I, for the Whippoorwill? But it's okay, we did it anyway, didn't we? Yes, we were 5 against 2. So, yeah, it should have been 4 against 2, shouldn't it, because of the Whippoorwill, but I think we still managed to kill it. So, phoo! Right, so that is it for the investigation phase. Next up is the enemy phase. We have no enemies on the board, so that is a very quick enemy phase. It means we can go straight into the upkeep phase. And here we are at the upkeep phase, and one thing I noticed was I had unexpected courage. Here, I should have played that. As it is, we got away with it, but I will have to remember that. That's a good card, yes, and possibly I should have used that against the, what was it, the arcane barrier, but as it is, we managed to get away with that one. Right, so here we are at the upkeep phase. So first of all, let's get all of our actions back. And Agnes's actions. There we go. Draw a card for Jenny. And she gets teamwork, so it's 0 to put into play. It's an event, it's got a wildcard icon. Teamwork tactic, investigators at your location may give or trade any number of item assets, ally assets or resources amongst one another. It's dangerous to go alone. The reason I picked this card was I was banking on Jenny having loads and loads of resources. She hasn't, but if she had, then we'd have... been able to use this. So that's asset. Yeah, we'll put this below because it's an event. Pop that down there. My new way of setting my cards out. She gets 2 resources, so she's only got 2. The really disappointing thing is twin 45s have only got 1 ammo left. Ah, well, let's get Beat Cop into play anyway. Probably try and do that, though. We need to get 2 more resources from somewhere even to do that. Ooh, and have we got the time? No, we've probably got to investigate, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, that is it for Jenny. So we've got to pick a card for Agnes. Ooh, that's 2. We only want 1. And we pick another fire axe. Right, so that's an asset, so we'll put it on the top row. We could probably use that for its combat icon. And she gets a resource, so she's up to 2 resources. Yep, there we go. Okay, so that is it for the upkeep phase, and that is it for our second round this particular episode. Yes, it went okay, and we have got a victory point, so at least we've got 1 XP. But we do need 3 extra clues. if we have a bit of luck, we might be able to get the 2 at the student union, and we're going to have to get 1 from somewhere else. But the other places have locked doors on them. Now, I think we only have 2 locked doors. I think there are only 2 locked door cards. So perhaps we can go to the administration building. I can't remember if it's got clues, but hopefully it has. We can't get to the alchemy labs because that's shut. Very much like the dormitories, we need to get a key from somewhere. There is a janitor knocking about, but we haven't run into him yet. Okay, and we won't run into the janitor unless we get these 6 clues, which we are struggling to get. So we're going to be on 5 doom as well by the start of the next episode. It's running close. Oh well. And yes, our plan for the Orn Library to pick up those 2 clues and get a victory point there, well, that looks pretty grim because of that locked door. So we'll probably have to give that a miss. It may be a case we're only going to get 1 XP out of this, I think. But we'll see how we go on in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the views, thanks for all the subscriptions, thank you for all the likes and the dislikes, and thank you for all the help and support as ever. If I've made any more boneheaded errors like I did with Arcane Studies, please let me know, and I'll do my best to fix them for next episode. And if you've been across to Board Game Links to have a look at the videos over there, thank you so much. Additionally, if you've been to BGG and had a look at the video threads, you know, made a comment there, made a comment on YouTube, drop Geek Gold, anything like that, thank you. It is much appreciated. That is it for episode 7. I hope you will join me for episode 8. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.